With this video we're driving a BMW i3 and I totally get it now. So everybody, welcome to this review of the BMW i3. I got an i3 to test for the weekend and I gotta say I totally get it now why people would do electric cars. But first, let's just talk about the car. First of all, we have the styling. Now, I really like what BMW is doing with their i-series. These cars really look like they come out of a future film. I really like it with like this one with the really clean taillights and everything. This is kind of the bubble car of the electric family for BMW, but I totally get it. It's a city car and it does that purpose pretty damn well. Now this is the model with the range extender, but I'll tell you more about that as we get to the driving part of this video. Now let's get inside. This is just the thing I like the most about this car, and that's the interior. How the dashboard is sculpted, how the navigation screen seems to be floating from a driver's standpoint. The only thing that lets it down a bit is this instrument cluster, because it's just a small screen but it shows all the data that you need, so it's large enough for what you need. So this is a four-seater car, so you only have two people that can sit in the back, but they can sit pretty comfortably. Now I gotta say, I really do not understand why BMW would not use this kind of interior design language on all their cars. It would mean so much to their lineup if these interiors would be in all the cars, or more like this in all the cars. It's really nice, this really more futuristic. It's different. I just like it because it's different. Now also the door panels are really nicely done. I like this interior a lot. Then we get to the driving perspective. Now a lot of you will be thinking, oh, it's an electric car, you only have like X kilometers of range, you won't get anywhere. Now okay, if for people who are doing more than 300 kilometers a day or more than 200 kilometers a day, this ain't no car for you. And if you're doing a lot of highway, this ain't no car for you either. But this car is really for people that do smaller commutes, or they do some highway in their commute, but they only have to drive on average like 200 kilometers a day. Let's say that's, in my eyes, that's the max you can get out of it from a using standpoint if you want to go purely electric. So this is the model with the range extender. So what does that actually mean in terms of what is a range extender? It really says it all in the name. A range extender makes sure that you have enough range to drive somewhere. So the range extender is actually just a generator behind the back seat and underneath the trunk floor, which generates electricity when your battery gets low. So I have tested this, of course I have tested this. So when your battery gets around like 13 kilometers left on the charge, then the generator will kick in and start providing power to your battery. So you do not have any control on when the generator kicks in or whatever. So this actually is a pretty good option, but I was disappointed at one point. Like when I was driving and the range extender kicked in was when we were going on the highway driving home and the battery ran out and the range extender picked up. Now the thing is, this car is not designed in my eyes to go 120 kilometers an hour constantly. So what I saw was the generator was going full force and yes, the battery was still going down. But what's the problem? Now when the battery goes down and reaches zero, the range extender has to do all the work. Now the range extender in my eyes is just there to get you to the next charging point. My point being that when you reach zero and the range extender needs to do all the work, the car cuts like 80% of its power. It will just go as fast as it can, but normally that means on its own power it would only do about 90. Like I was doing 120 kilometers an hour, then my range started to go to zero, and then the speed started dropping like It went from 125 to 120. It went from 120 to 115 to 110 to and then on 110 it could keep going. But I imagine when you're going up a hill, it will slow down again. So the range extender really is just to get to the next charging point. But the positive point is here that when you're really out of juice and you are nowhere near a charging point, you have a little petrol engine that will be sure that you get there. So that's pretty awesome. Now, what I think this car should have had was a range extender that could make it go 120 kilometers an hour, no issue. But yeah, it's a city car, so in the city you're not going 120. But now, how is the battery range? Now, the battery range on a full charge in normal mode, in comfort mode, is about 170 kilometers. If you go into Eco Pro mode, which limits you to 130 kilometers an hour and optimizes some of the driving capabilities, then the car will go even further. It will go about 200 kilometers. And if you go in Eco Pro Plus, which limits you to 90 kilometers an hour and takes away your climate control and all those things, then you will go even further and be able to do about 230 to 250 kilometers an hour, depending on how you're driving. Now, the biggest change from a normal car to driving an electric car is that the car brakes itself. So when you release the throttle, the car will brake drastically and start regenerating the energy that is in the car and break it down. So it's a thing to get used to. So actually, when you're driving this car, you want to optimize the range a lot. So it comes a bit of a game to be like able to estimate when you will loosen the throttle so that the braking will just be right at the stop sign or something like that. It turns into a game, and you have this little dial on the dashboard that goes left for charge and right for giving it power and going somewhere. So that's actually a pretty cool feature. Now, what else can we say about this car? I really like the driving. And now, why did I say in the beginning of the video, you totally get electric cars? Why did you say that? Now, I do get electric cars because people who want to drive, who want a car that is good for the environment and be ecological and everything, they normally go for tiny petrol engines like 1.2 liters, or they go for diesel engines, for small diesel engines. Well, if you like driving, an electric engine is actually a lot more fun. Now, to just illustrate that fact, this car, if you just from standing still boot it, the torque from the electric motor is just overwhelming. This car is just goes. When you put your foot down, it just goes. And I really like that. There ain't no gas engine, like small gas engine or diesel engine, that will go as fast as this. So that's actually a pretty nice point. Now, that's about it. I really like the driving. Now, what are the downsides to having this car in particular? Now, the thing I really would like it to have more is battery range. Now, of course, this is a fully electric car, and it should have enough battery range. Now, the battery range when you're driving comfort mode is only like 150 kilometers realistically when you're doing highway and such. Now, if for me an electric car would be a good option for daily driving, so you mean when you go even a bit further, it would have to have 300 kilometers of battery range. Now, the range extender does help a bit, but the problem with the range extender is that it doesn't give you the option to say okay, I'm at 25% range extender, just kick on and keep my car going as long as possible so I can keep doing highway as long as possible. You cannot set this at any time. So that's really a bummer, but I read on some forums that there is actually a kind of an update you can do to the system to be able to set that. So it could have been fixed. But yeah, what's another downside? If you just want to charge it on a normal household plug, then you will have to have a lot of patience. So after I drove the car back on the range extender, I had 0 left on the clock, and I put it to charge. The car charged for 10 hours and I only got about 75% charged, so that's only 130 kilometers an hour, 130 kilometers you can do. Now, then yesterday I left it longer because I wanted to make sure it was full so I could tell you guys about the total range. Now, I do not know how long it took, but it did more than 12 hours of charging. The car did more than 12 hours. So if you want to charge it at home and in Zippy, you will have to get a fast charger or something like that. So guys, I'm gonna leave the review right here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we keep in mind that this car is really a lot faster than these ecological petrol or diesel engines. We keep in mind that on a house plug it will take a long while to charge. And also, one thing I forgot to say, this car is a BMW. It's rear wheel drive and it's really fun to draw into corners, even on these skinny little tires that it has. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you next week. Have a good week.